Welcome into the Bruce Arians Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Bruce Arians. First of all, congratulations on the win. I'm sure it took years off of your life, when you're losing the entire time until 15 seconds left. That's a bit of a nail biter for you.
Yeah, it's that old saying, it's never over till it's over.
Yeah.
And when you have Tom and the group we have, it's a comforting feeling sometimes.
Yeah, with Tom, it's never over. I
No.
think that's a good way to put it. Big picture, what do you think that comeback win says about your team and at this point in the season?
I thought it was huge for us, and those are the type of wins that really can help you down the road because you saw yourself what not to do, but you still win. And I always said you learn just as much by almost losing than you do losing.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's a much more fun lesson
Way
to
better.
learn. Yeah,
Everybody listens a little bit more to the corrections.
yeah. And I mean, Cyril Grayson, 33-yard game-winning touchdown. Take us through that play and the decision to call it for him.
Yeah, it was really set up for Cam, and Tom read the coverage perfectly. They were playing a kind of a matched up zone, and he pumped Cam on the out, and the safety hung, the corner bit it, so he threw a perfect ball, and the safety couldn't get there. So it was just a great play by Tom and Cyril.
Yeah, and Cyril, I love it. So 5 of the 9 plays on that final drive, it seemed like, were targeting Cyril. And this is a guy that a little over a week ago at age 28, I think, had 2 career catches. Tell me why he's been able to step up in such a big way after such an unconventional path to getting here.
Yeah, I mean, just hard work. I mean, just tremendous hard worker. And probably, like I said, the last 2 years, by far the most improved player on our team. He just never stops working. And then when his opportunity came, he seized it.
And where are the areas you think he's improved the most in? What are those little things you've seen?
I just catching the ball in traffic.
Kind of an important part for wide
very
receivers.
Very big, especially for former track guys. They always have the speed, but the in traffic, the cutting, he just keeps working and working at it. And like I said, I asked Tom a couple weeks ago, put him in, I trust him.
And that's a big statement.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And he also had the 3rd and 20 conversion. Tell us about that play.
That was really big. Again, with his speed, once you get past 20, the DBs are going to take off. And he stopped right on the sticks, and great throw by Tom again. And again, great protection on both those plays.
Yeah, and that last drive, 93 yards in 2 minutes and no timeouts. In any other scenario other than a team led by Tom Brady, that would sound not ideal.
No, exactly. And he's done it so many times in his career. When you're in the huddle with him, you're like, okay, we got this.
Yeah, and not even spiking it, just, yeah, we're good. We got all the time in the world. Just a little stroll down the field here. So tell us about that drive and what worked so well about it, and looking back, what you think the team learned from it.
Well, I think protection. Tom had all the time in the world, and we started out with some short throws, got completions, got some momentum going, hit the big one to Tyler on the in route, and again, we're trying to get out of bounds, trying to hit Cam, and just presented itself perfectly for the touchdown.
And how about the 2-point conversion? Tell us about that play.
Yeah, we worried about the only way we could lose the game at that point was to have the kick blocked. And so let's go for 2. Le'Veon did a great job getting in there, and then that made him have to have a touchdown.
Yeah, and so other than the final drive, total Brady's performance, 410 yards, 3 touchdowns. What did you see from him in that game?
I thought it was a really great ball game, other than a couple plays. And nobody plays perfect every time. And he threw some balls up to Mike. Mike got one of them, and they got one of them. But I thought he played outstanding. Yeah,
so tell us about the interception and what went wrong on that play.
It was a double move by Mike, and the DB didn't turn his back. He turned back inside right when Tom was letting it go. So and Mike was trying to outrun him, so he never really looked back.
So we talk a lot about Brady's records, and so many of them have to do with just his longevity, how long he's been doing it at a high level. But it was incredible that at one point during the game, the broadcast put up something talking about how he has never led the NFL in all 4 of the categories he's currently leading in terms of completions, attempts, passing yards, touchdowns, all these things. And this is talking about this season, not a cumulative thing. So why is he, somebody who's had such a prolific career for so long, now doing things even he's never done at this age?
He's just remarkable. He fits into what we do so well. And he's bought in during last year when he came here, and he knew he had the weapons. And, now we've got new weapons. And part of that's him building that confidence in those players, those young players. And I'm just really happy for him.
And, of course, a big part of his success is Gronk. That's a pretty go-to guy for him. And we had talked about how a couple of games before this, there were some, I think you'd put it as uncharacteristic drops for Gronk. It seemed like they weren't always on the same page, which again, usually you can count on those two to always be on the same page. And then now he comes into this game, 7 catches, 115 yards. What seemed to be the turnaround, or what worked well this particular game to get them back on that page?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of matchups, really good matchups for him in this game. And Tom kept finding him. He kept making some great catches and runs after catch. I mean, I don't know if they ever did tackle him.
Yeah, and that is such an incredible skill that he has. What is it that enables him to be so good at those yards after the catch? And how does that even influence just what plays you're wanting to use for him, what you know that he brings to the offense as compared to other people?
Yeah, you try to hit him moving, and while he's running, because he can just shake people off. He's so big. And, he bent down and caught a couple low ones and just threw guys off of him. And it was just a really, really good ball game. Blocked really well, too.
And Cam Brate also got himself another touchdown. Tell us about that play.
Yeah, it was a great route, but a really good throw. Cam went out to the flat. They covered it. He came back on an angle route, and Tom read it perfect and put it right on him.
And Keyshawn Vaughn definitely ended up getting more action than he has in quite some time. And, the injury bug continues to seem to affect one position group at a time. Yeah. More contagious than COVID, it seems like. So what did you see from Keyshawn and the opportunities that he's been given lately?
Again, really good. Really ran the ball well, caught the ball well. It was one of his best ball games. And he tripped one. I thought he was going to take it to the house, and he tripped one time on that turf. But he's getting better and better.
And then same thing, Le'Veon Bell being asked to step up in a bigger way since bringing him in. So what gave you the confidence in him, and what have you seen in terms of him picking up the playbook and being able to get out there and at the very end of the season still contribute?
Really all the credits to him, because there was no plans on him playing that much.
Yeah.
The other two guys got hurt, and he stepped right in, stepped up, and caught a couple really good big third down balls and got to 2-point conversion. So really happy for him.
And I know that Rojo ended up going down with an injury, and I know that Keyshawn ended up with one as well. Is there any update on the two of them of what their prognosis seems to be?
Still waiting. Rojo's an ankle sprain, and Keyshawn was just ribs, but don't look like there's anything broken. So hopefully we'll have him back next week.
So what did you see from Rojo before he went out from the injury?
I thought Rojo he was running really, really hard. Again, caught the ball well too. So he's been playing at a really good level for us right now. And
then I know that your offensive line, again, we've gotten to get them the Pro Bowl recognition for some of them. And what did you see from their play overall, also seeming to keep Brady pretty upright?
Yeah, I thought we blocked extremely well. We just had some dumb penalties and post-snap penalties that put us in 3rd and 20s. And we did convert one, but yeah, those things can't happen. But they blocked really, really well. And
I know that is kind of Ryan Jensen's, one of his appeals is the way that he plays with a little edge. But that's always kind of going to walk a fine line. And so what is your message after something like that with a guy like him?
Slow down with it and let it go. I mean, there was 2 or 3 scuffles, and they finally got him.
All right, well, we have more coming up here on the Bruce Arians Show. We'll be right back. We're back here on the Bruce Arians Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Bruce Arians. And third down offense, I know that there were incredible amounts of conversions, and we talked about things like 3rd and 20s that you guys are converting. So what seemed to work pretty well for y'all, even in situations you don't want to be in, but being able to kind of fix them a little bit?
Yeah, that was kind of the saving grace for us to get off the goal line, get some points. But overall, I was really pleased with the third down offense and red zone offense and all the situational things. 2-minute offense obviously was the winner, but yeah, we played well in situational football.
And then Brashad Perriman and Tyler Johnson both asked to do some things in the offense. What did you see from both of them?
Oh, both stepped up big. Tyler had one of his best games, had a chance for a diving catch down there and didn't quite come up with it, but he played really good. And Brashad Perriman's really starting to find his role too.
So for you, what was it like the week leading up to it? I know that you guys as coaches and everybody in the NFL, you guys are all such creatures of habit. You have your ways of doing things, and then here you get thrown the COVID curveball. So what was that like to find out and have to make all these preparations to make sure that the team would be taken care of?
Yeah, I wasn't sure I'd be able to make it to the game. So I had all the confidence in the world. Harold run practice really, really well all week, handled the meetings, and the coordinators just do your jobs. And then fortunately I was able to get through the new protocols and get to the ball game.
And I know that for you, were you excited for Coach Goodwin to kind of get some of these opportunities? You're a guy that you really try to, it seems like, promote your staff, and you want them to get a chance for people to see what they do. Why is that something that is so important to you?
Oh, I just feel really good. I think it's one of the jobs of a head coach, not just to coach players, but to coach coaches to be the next group. And really hope in this next hiring cycle, guys get opportunities. And like I said, Harold's been with me a long time, so he was the natural fit for that job.
And what was the reason for picking him to step up in your wake as compared to one of your other coordinators?
Well, then you have to do 2 jobs, and he is assistant head coach for a reason. And so I'm really very, very confident. And Todd do his job, to Byron do his job, Keith, you do your job, and Harold will handle the rest.
And I know teams and games across the league were all paying tribute to John Madden, so I wanted to hear for you, what are the things that stand out to you about him and watching all of these tributes and thinking back on a man like that?
Yeah, just, watching him as a coach and what he meant to the Raiders and the game of football. I mean, he is legendary. And, the kids today only think of him as a video game guy, the Madden's game. But, I mean, to watch him coach when I was young and just a tremendous coach, just a great guy, too, a tremendous individual. And what he meant to the NFL is just, it's irreplaceable.
Do you have a favorite memory?
Oh, just listen, any broadcast, with Summerall and Madden, it was like the best. You could just sit there and listen. You didn't have to watch.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, well, we have more coming up here on the Bruce Arians Show, so don't go anywhere. We are back here on the Bruce Arians Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Bruce Arians. And I know that this is the first time, actually, I believe since you and your staff got here, that you've allowed touchdowns on the first 2 drives of the other team. So what were the Jets doing well, especially early? But then, on the same part of that, why have you guys had such success being able to hold teams early on in a game when usually they've got a lot already scripted and planned out?
Yeah, for us, it was just missing tackles. I mean, we gave up a 55-yard run, and we're right in the hole and missed the tackle. Gave up another long run on the sweep, missed the tackle when it was really a -1 and ends up being a 20-yard gain. So it was poor tackling early. And the Jets had a nice plan, but we just didn't execute.
And I love seeing that this was the largest age difference between starting quarterbacks in NFL history, which I thought was pretty funny. I'm sure maybe Tom felt it was less funny than everybody else did. But what did you see from a guy like Zach Wilson, who is so young, rookie in there, having to face off against the GOAT and the way he played?
He played really, really well. I mean, he's very elusive. He's very accurate. And you can tell he's going to be a hell of a player for a long time.
And I know also you had Berrios in there getting a couple touchdowns, and he's done a great thing this year in terms of even the return game. What was he doing that ended up kind of exploiting some things on our defensive side?
Well, they ran the reverse pass, and we got picked off, and we were man-to-man. We picked ourselves off, and he got that touchdown. The next one, he just beat Mike Edwards one-on-one.
And so for you guys looking at, especially not having Shaq and JPP, I'm sure some of those plays are the moments that that would have been something they could have helped out with. But what did each of them mean to this team, not having both of them out there, and then how guys were able to step in for them?
Yeah, you throw Levante in there too. I mean, that's 3 All-Pros.
Yeah.
And, so, yeah, it's different. It's different, but it's no excuse. Anthony Nelson got a game ball. He played really, really well.
I like the way I could tell you wanted to say stronger words about him. We'll just know the way that means that you felt about Anthony Nelson. How have you seen him grow and improve in the way that, he's starting to feel to me like Mike Edwards feels as a safety, where % of snaps that he plays, the number of splash plays he makes is higher than almost anyone else.
Yeah, he's just maximizing his opportunities, and he's learned to use his length with his power, and then he's got some slippery moves now. So he's learned some stuff from Shaq and JPP that's really helped him.
Yeah, it's some pretty impressive people to be able to watch. And I know this was definitely going to be some of the biggest opportunities that Joe Tryon-Shoyinka got as well. What did you think of his game and the way he stepped up?
He was solid all game. He needs to be just a little more, use his power more. He was trying to do too finesse, but he made a great stop on that quarterback sneak at the end.
Have you seen him grow in some of his pass rush moves or techniques over the course of this season?
Yeah, I think in this game he tried to use too many.
Oh, yeah.
And you always start with speed to power. And if you bull rush and knock them back, then you start using your toolbox.
And what did you think about the Jets' decision to go for it at 4th and 2 at the end of the game, and then the way that our defense handled it?
Oh, I don't think there was any doubt. I would have done too. The game's over. You make the first down, you go. I don't know if I'd have ran a quarterback sneak because it was really a long 1.5 yards. But that decision to go, I don't question at all.
Yeah, and the way that we were able to handle that and get that stop, what did you see out there from our defense?
Vita made a great push in the middle, and Joe come off the edge and make sure he didn't get out of there. So that's all we needed.
I know the sack by Anthony Nelson was the only time that we were able to get one in the game, but overall, what did you think of the pressure either from the D-line, the outside linebackers, and what did you see there?
I thought it was solid. We chased him around a bunch. We couldn't catch him sometimes, but we chased him around a lot.
So how did you think Vita and Sue, what did you see from their play overall in the game?
They didn't run the ball inside. They didn't even try, So those two guys got stretched to the sideline a little bit too much.
And I know that with Sean Murphy-Bunting and Jamel Dean, it was quite an adventure of a morning for them. Tell us from the coaching perspective on it, what you knew when and how that was going to affect the game plan and what you guys decided to do.
Yeah, we kind of made some second-degree plans if they didn't show up, and not thinking that the pilot was going to get COVID, and they had to go all the way around to Canada to get there. But, it disrupted a little bit their warm-ups and getting them ready to go, but Jamel stepped in, did a good job. Sean got in there and got hurt. But, I was really proud of both of them to get there and play.
Yeah, and how did you make the decision of knowing that they didn't have their normal warm-up routines and they're running out there after the first series even? Of how does that affect the way that you wanted to try to use them at that point?
Well, it's more just you tell me when you're ready. Tell me when you're loose, ready to go, and we'll put you in there.
And do we have any updates on Sean and his injury situation?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. And outside of the two of them, what did you see from the play of the rest of your corners in the game?
I thought Carlton had a really good. He dropped an interception that would have been big, but he played really solid. Pierre was a little bit loose. Nobody got behind him, but too many things caught in front of him.
And how about your safeties overall as well? We knew Jordan had that monster game the week before, and it looked like this week was Winfield.
Jordan was solid. Antoine made some great open field tackles. Mike Edwards was playing nickel most of this game and was pretty solid.
And how about Devin? We talked earlier about not having Levante out there, but Devin and then Minter in there. And what did you see from your inside guys?
Yeah, this was not their best game by far. I mean, they struggled a little bit. Again, it was a sideline-to-sideline game, and they're more thumpers, but they can both play better.
And how about the third down defense in particular? I know that they ended up 6 of 11, but they'd started out converting their first 4. So it seemed like at some point in the game, it shifted a little bit more to what you guys kind of want percentage-wise of that converting.
Yeah, the rush and the coverage didn't match. We didn't get the rush. When we got rushed, we didn't have coverage. So then once we matched them a few times, we get off the field.
All right, well, we still have one more segment coming up here on the Bruce Arians Show. We'll be right back. It's our final segment here on the Bruce Arians Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Bruce Arians, and you are facing your 17th regular season game for the first time ever. Does it actually feel different at this point, or have you just lost all sense of time and it doesn't even matter?
Yeah, to be in January and still playing regular season games this late is a little bit different. Obviously, we have an opponent we just played, and so it's one of these times where you rest all week and get out there and play your best.
So now how are the things, the way you're approaching this next game, having just played them, what I'm sure feels like yesterday at this point, what are some of the biggest things that you're remembering from that first time, and maybe even the way that it's helping you having played them so recently? Yeah,
I mean, for us, it's just who's going to step up this week, because a lot of opportunities for young players to continue and impress us, and you'll get ready for the playoffs, but we want to win. We won 13 wins. That's big for us.
And how did it maybe change the preparation, knowing that they went with that dual quarterback approach the last time and not knowing how often or how much they'll be doing that again this time?
Yeah, it's very difficult. You got to get ready for Cam's runs, and he had a big one against us last time, and then Sam in the passing game, and Sam's very elusive also. So, hopefully we'll get ready for Sam and see what happens.
And outside of the quarterbacks, what else from their offense stood out from that last game?
They got playmakers. They run the ball hard. They got really good receivers, and we did a good job of keeping them all in front of us last time. We can't let anybody get behind us.
Yeah, what has made Robbie Anderson have the kind of success that he's had, not just against us, but in general in the league? He's really stepped up a lot.
Yeah, he's a speed guy, but he's also really tough. He goes over the middle. I mean, he's skinny, but he's not frail. That's for sure. He's tough as nails. He's from Temple.
Oh, well, there you go. Not like you're biased or anything. All right, and then how about on the defensive side for them? What were the biggest things that stood out the last matchup?
Well, we handled Burns and Riddick okay in the last game, and that's gonna be key again, and just giving Tom protection and opening some holes in the running game.
And then for you, I was thinking about the idea of New Year's resolutions. If you were to make some for the team, what would be the things that you would want maybe on each side of the ball in terms of a New Year's resolution you would want them to try for?
Stay healthy. Both sides.
Both sides, yeah, that's always
Get healthy and stay healthy.
Get healthy and stay healthy. That's a good resolution. Well, Coach, thanks as always, and congratulations on that win. Good luck in your final regular season game. And thanks to all of you guys for watching. We'll be back here next week with another Bruce Arians Show.